Come through, Queen. I wanna see ya. Come through, Queen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dan.
And Brendan.
And this has Come Through, Queen. Happy 2023, everyone.
Happy New Year.
And what a way to start the new year.
I mean, history.
There are times when like something happens and we're like, oh, damn, we recorded yesterday. It would have been nice to chat about it while it's fresh. And then sometimes like the news gods smile down on us.
I mean, this would have been a news moment where I think we would have had to bring mics up regardless. It's that
Mike's up.
major.
Yeah, it's major. I mean, okay, headline. And you may not even know this because like this is breaking news as you listen to this on Friday.
People know this.
People know this. Okay. People.com
People.com, yeah.
reports Lisa Rinna is quote unquote grateful as she announces exit from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after 8 seasons. Okay, so just pause. What did you think when you saw this?
First things first, I wasn't surprised.
No.
Second thought was, don't we need reality TV villains?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure we've said plenty of shit about Lisa Rinna on this podcast. But the thing is, Lisa Rinna has been a part of so many iconic Beverly Hills moments.
Yeah.
That it's like you don't have to like her, but you got to appreciate her input.
Yeah. I think if I'm racking my brain where I ended with her last season, and like feel free to roll footage because obviously my words can be used against me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was like, the reason I would want her to go the most would be to see how Erica fares without her.
Yeah, and that's going to be an exciting thing to watch if Erica's still around,
Yeah, but I can't imagine them getting rid of Erica too.
Well, Erica needs the check in a big way.
Exactly. So it's like the symbiotic relationship. Like Bravo needs Erica, Erica needs Bravo.
We need to like roll out. We need to keep on rolling with the Erica legal drama. We can't go without that being. We cannot. We have to complete that journey.
Exactly. It would be crazy. And like it's crazy that like this is happening kind of while the Fox Force 5 are like at their worst as per Teddy Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because didn't she say like, oh yeah, I'm not talking to Erica so much anymore. And like, it's potentially like Dorit and Erica on opposite sides.
The group chat has gone silent.
So it'll be interesting to see like who is Erica's friend if she's still on the show.
Yeah. So, but let's talk about Lisa Rinna a little more.
Okay.
Do you think that they're gonna give her an ultimate girls trip as like a goodbye president?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be on 4, maybe she'll be on 5. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine like we got to get the ball rolling for 4 because 3 is going to be right around the corner once we wrap up Potomac, Miami, and Salt Lake City.
I know, and that's the exciting part about like being this Bravo Peacock world now is that like if your favorite gets fired, not that she's my favorite, but like we could always see her soon on an ultimate girls trip.
Yeah. But I also even think like if it feels like with a Rinna, it does feel like a pause, even though there's no pause mentioned, just because like I feel like if they need her, they'll go back to her and she'll say yes.
Also, she was yelling at you say no pause mentioned, but she was like yelling at BravoCon, put me on pause, like during panels.
Exactly. So it's like she asked for it and she got it. Yeah. Well, what's funny is, okay, so let me read the quote from People Magazine. Okay. She says, "This is the longest job I have held in my 35-year career, and I am grateful to everyone at Bravo and all those involved in the series. It has been a fun 8-year run, and I am excited for what is to come. The decision was made as Rinna's contract expired at the end of last season. After weighing her options and business obligations, she and Bravo mutually decided that she would not return to Beverly Hills."
Wow.
Yeah. So mutually decided.
Well, that's a nice way to say she was fired. But
Exactly.
if you think about it, 8 years, that's high school and college. Think about how
Mm.
long that felt when you were young.
Yeah. I mean, 8 years. That it's she's longer than like the run of this podcast when we're like catching up to 8 years.
Barely longer.
Barely longer. uh, I would imagine this is probably not the only shakeup. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I would imagine they would want to like give her the respect of announcing this one separately.
For sure. I mean, like, Diana will probably be gone, obviously.
Yeah, that still has not been like officially announced.
And I imagine most everyone remains. I could imagine a demotion
Mm,
potentially.
for Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because like I really like Crystal, and actually, like one of the things I like best about Crystal is being at home with Crystal. So if that
Mm.
happens, that's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
who knows? I don't know.
I was just thinking, like, I wanna get cameras up soon. So this, to me, is an indication that, like, that's gonna be happening within the next few weeks.
I know. Thank God.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So while we're over here in Los Angeles, let's talk about a new show that's premiering on MTV. And this, once again, also comes from people.com. Uh, Todrick Hall talks scandal. Brad Goreski gets fierce in MTV's gay power player show, Real Friends of WeHo.
WeHo. Okay.
The subheadline: MTV's upcoming reality series, The Real Friends of WeHo, will premiere Friday, January 20th at 8 p.m. Let me give you a little bit more so that you have more to work with.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A group of 6 fierce friends is ready to take fans inside their exciting lives, living it up in West Hollywood. MTV announced its upcoming reality series, The Real Friends of WeHo, on Thursday by unveiling its all-star cast of pals alongside a teaser trailer. Celebrity stylist Brad Goreski, choreographer and singer Todrick Hall, actor Curtis Hamilton, CEO of Buddha Skincare Dorian Renaud,
Mm-hmm.
host and business owner James Vaughn, and digital entrepreneur Joey Zauzig round out the star power crew. Okay, you watch the trailer.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like you don't really like get much from the trailer.
It's a very glossy. The trailer felt like I was watching an E trailer. Like it was glossy
Mm,
in that way.
yeah.
Um, this will be interesting because we haven't tried a like gay focused reality show in a few years since Fire Island.
Yeah. Fire Island, the reality show, not the
The reality,
movie.
yeah, not the movie. And then
Yeah.
before that, obviously, we had the like gay bachelor series, which was like on Logo. And then
Mm,
before that, for us old ends,
yeah.
was the A-list New York and then the A-list Dallas.
Sure, exactly. Which A-List Dallas had someone who popped up on Real Housewives Dallas,
And
actually.
exactly. And they had a reunion hosted by who? Wendy Williams.
She loved hosting random reunions.
Yeah, Mob Wives
Yeah.
included, I think.
Yeah. So the trailer didn't really show them interacting with each other that much,
Yeah.
right? And I think here's a few takeaways. Number one, Drag Race is moving to MTV. It's still
Yes.
on Fridays at 8 p.m. This is going to be airing after Drag Race, which I got to say is setting it up for as much success as it could possibly have.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like at first when I saw the Friday time slot, I was like, who's looking for this on Friday night? But like if you're sitting watching Drag Race,
You might as well keep
you might as
watching.
well.
Yeah.
And then also like the Drag Race times post Drag Race time slot is interesting because both Todrick and Brad judge on Drag Race.
Yeah, Todrick in the US, Brad in Canada.
Exactly.
Um Brad Goreski was like my first reality show crush.
Mm.
When he was on
Yeah.
the Rachel Zoe project,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
so cute and he would cry, and I was like, "Oh, that's sweet."
Yeah. And I mean, like Todrick and Brad are the two big names. I guess the other face I recognized is the James Vaughn character because he's married to
Jonathan Bennett.
Jonathan Bennett from Mean Girls and now
Mhm.
all the holiday movies.
Mhm.
So
And then the Joey Zauzig guy has popped up on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
what?
I texted you about this today.
I I can't keep up with all that's going on.
In the photo shoot that Meredith Marks did for gay rights.
Oh, yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes,
But
yes.
that's like I know that because I'm in the know.
Okay, you're in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other 2 I'm not really familiar with at all. I'm obviously gonna watch just because, like, I'm curious to see how another network tries to copy Bravo.
Yeah, but I also saw Andy in the comments of Brad's post, like, applauding it, so Andy's not mad about this.
Okay, okay.
But
It
also, Brad is a former Bravo
yeah.
person.
It is bold of them to be doing Real Friends.
I know, but it is what it is. Also, it's like, the Real Friends is interesting because it's like, how close are these people actually?
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder.
I'm sure this is very much, here are 6 people we wanna cast for their own individual reasons and not that they have any sort of relationship with each other.
Yeah, I kind of have a prediction.
Hmm.
I I predict this could find success.
Oh.
And I think it could be through 2 pipelines. I think Brad Goreski and his husband Gary have like a
Mm,
devoted following between
right.
everything that they've done on reality and then like just being online and like
Yeah,
having like they're big on Instagram and people love them for that. So I see
sure.
that. And then like Todrick, although he's very controversial, especially after this prior Big Brother season,
Yeah.
he still I think has his audience.
Yeah, so people are buying tickets to the tours, I think.
Yeah, and then like I mean, excuse our ignorance about like the other people we don't necessarily know as well. They
Yeah.
could also have their followings that we just are in the dark about because we're stupid.
Yeah, yeah. So, maybe they'll build the relationship.
I think there could be something there. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, like, I think, yeah, I think it's interesting. Everyone's kind of like, I think a lot of gay people are like, haha, remembering the A list and being
Yeah.
like, that show was such a flash in the pan, but like, it was such a fun time to be alive when that
I
was airing.
loved it. I
Me
loved
too.
I was obsessed with it. Are you
Me
kidding me?
too. Yeah.
I mean, the gay community, we love to hate anything gay. That's like one of the job
Well,
requirements.
yeah, we come from hating ourselves initially, then
It's like,
going on to hate everything else.
yeah, wow. Okay, something that I'm loving, we finally got the trailer for Traitors.
Yes.
This is that show that we're hyped about with Brandi Glanville, Kyle Cook, Rachel Riley, Reza from Shots of Sunset,
Mhm.
Kate Chastain. It's got the trailer now. We could see them in action. I love the high production value.
Mhm. Did you know I was on Reddit and like looking around. So apparently it's the same location and the same challenges as the Traitors that is currently airing in the UK.
What? They're just like, here, you guys are done. Next round. They're just like using the same equipment.
That's what people are saying. And then like there was a different host that I guess people love from the UK, but also people love Alan Cumming. So everyone's like, okay, yeah, let's bring Alan Cumming in. Yeah, we love him.
Yeah, I know. I love his narration in the trailer.
Hmm.
I just like I'm still stuck on the 1 day drop. And I think
I
people in the
know.
UK are talking about this because this was a new show in the UK
Hmm.
and it's been airing week to week and the hype has been growing.
I know. It's the thing about Peacock. It's like the Peacock has such great content right now. They
Mm-mm.
just need to get it together
Yeah.
as far as like when we're airing things.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is kind of a nature of this like streaming nonsense
Hmm.
that I think there's like financial reasons to drop all the episodes at once too.
I know. And then like I was like but HBO Max taught us, but then HBO Max is now like
A shit
everything's
show.
weird there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll be tuning in just another week. Wow.
I'm going to watch that entire thing all next weekend.
Yeah, that's a good plan. It would be so nice if it snowed.
Dear God, make it snow next weekend starting January
Oh.
12th.
I was reading some article online about, like, old wives' tales that kids would do to, like, make it snow. It was
Don't
shit I never heard about.
like what?
And I'm sure you never heard about it because, like, the kids were not trying to make it snow in Georgia.
Oh, girl, we were trying to make it snow because the like couple snow days that I got as a kid were so magical.
The 1 inch of snow on the ground in
No, there were
Georgia.
like no. When there was like 2 probably really good snow days, like I'm talking like New York levels of snow that we
Okay,
got
okay.
back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Most magical day of my life.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently the kids, they're putting a white crayon on the windowsill to, like, summon the snow.
Ooh, where can I get a white crayon?
They're flushing ice cubes down the toilet.
Okay, I can do that easily.
They are I think they're putting a spoon under the pillow and possibly licking the spoon before doing so.
Okay, so I'm gonna do all of these 3 things next weekend.
Before next weekend so we can stay home and watch Traitors. Oh, no, but my other snow day dream besides watching Traitors is to go to Julius and have chicken fingers.
Uh,
So,
so why don't we watch Traitors, then go to Julius and talk about Traitors?
but only if it snows.
But only if it snows.
Okay, okay. Wow. We do have our shows to get to. We should start with Potomac, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god, Potomac. I know this is at the very end, but I can't even believe, like, we're already packing up for another trip.
I know, and the way just like the editing at the end of the episode is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I know, who knew that they were gonna carry that, like, that through line, the silent film through line to the previews?
It's so good. I mean, this actually, like, parts of this episode are going to go down
Hmm.
as Potomac iconography thanks to Candace.
Oh, well, okay, so that's another thing I wanna talk about. This season, and we talked about it last week, we're getting, like, such little doses of Candace, and then when we do get it, it, like, saves the day.
I know, and she's like literally every moment that Candace has been on the season has been iconic.
I know. I'm so glad, like, the world is waking up to this.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I see people online
Mm.
saying like finally people are waking up to Candace and I'm like
Mm.
just because you have a meme account, you can't claim that you've always been a Candace fan. I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you over there. No, I
Like
mean,
you can pretend, but
yeah.
like I will say and I'm not even giving myself credit. I will say Dan was a Candace fan before I was a Candace fan, but I was
Mm.
also a Candace fan before other people were a Candace fan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you were obviously blinded by Giselle and her beauty.
Oh,
Like, it
yeah.
was hard for your eyes to, like, focus elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I can also talk shit about Giselle. Though
Yeah.
like in a lot in a lot of these instances, I feel like Giselle's being like lumped in with every bad doer near
Mhm.
her. Like
Mhm.
maybe Giselle is playing along in the Ashley game, but Ashley's the real enemy this episode.
Okay. Let's get there. But I loved Karen and Ray walking up to the venue, and, like, the way she calls this, like, the next installation, as if, like, this is, like, a pillar of the business.
Do you really think she's the first non-comedian to ever perform at the DC Improv?
I'm sure they'll open their doors to whoever is willing to, like, pay the fee or whatever, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I was almost tempted to go start looking at like how many people that holds compared to
Mm.
the other venue that Robin and
Oh,
Giselle. But then I was like, that's too much math because I would have to cut Robin and Giselle's thing by half because Karen is one person, they're 2 people. So
okay.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think Karen won automatically.
Karen won, for sure. And especially, like, Karen's just doing this based off of being Karen. They were doing it based off of their podcast listenership following.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can't talk. They're on iHeartRadio, and we're here.
Okay. So, I gotta say, Matt, our assistant, our friend,
Our confidant.
our gay liaison to the community.
Former intern, maybe 17-year-old we picked off the street.
Okay, so my issue here is, Matt, like, we used to be rolling in with suits, and now you're, like, in shorts and flip-flops, like, on a walkthrough?
Counterpoint.
Hmm.
COVID happens. People
Oh.
now dress a lot more casually.
No, I that's, like, doesn't go with the La Dame brand, I would say.
Just because you never stopped going into an office the entire time and wearing your little button-ups doesn't mean culture hasn't changed.
I love how you're, like, applying this conversation to this fake working relationship between these two people.
I'm just putting reality into it.
Okay,
Once
yeah.
COVID happened, people got more cash.
Yeah, so he threw his suits away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how we're kind of figuring out while we're there, like, June 1st kicks off Pride Month. Aha!
Ah,
Let's talk about love. How we're getting it, where we're finding it. Are you on the grinder? Are you off the grinder?
This is like highest level, like, talking about gay people. We're hitting love,
Love.
which that's all gay people want.
Well, it's
And then
love is love.
Yeah, love is love, and then grinder, and then drag queens. Those are the 3 pillars of being gay.
I mean, those are, like, she's got her pillars, we have our pillars. And then, like, Ray jumping in, asking
Ray, is
Grindr
Grinder an underworld?
is Grindr underground?
No. Why did I think he said, is it in the underworld?
Yeah,
With
we're in
Hades.
hell.
Well, with Hades, that would make sense because Hades was queer coded in the Hercules movie.
Yeah.
So maybe he actually has, like, a film degree and was referencing that.
I mean, all of the Greek mythology is a little bit gay.
Oh, well, yeah, they're all stupping each other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, they're immortal, so it's like, we gotta come up with something else, like, you know?
But that wasn't like Greek mythology. Wasn't that just like being Greek back then?
A little bit of both, I would say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, like, Zeus was fucking women mostly.
Yeah, sure. Well, because he was just like, that was like his one goal, is like, let me just have a baby with every woman on the planet.
Was there a main writer for that?
Who's head writer? Is it Shonda Rhimes?
Because if you think about it, the Thunderbolts, phallic.
They knew what they were doing when they were writing. Okay. So, but then we're getting into the Michael of the grinder, which I had forgotten.
I know. To see that photo in the hotel room, blurred out, of his, like, torso and his, like, allegedly.
Yeah. So let's jump over to Mia's house for one of the oddest scenes ever filmed.
Oh,
for Housewives.
This makes me feel bad.
It almost felt like everyone had a gun to their head filming the scene, and, like, I don't know who's forcing them to do it. Their own ideas?
I don't like being with the 3 of them together. I don't mind Mia in a confessional because, like, I think she, like, can kind of be unintentionally funny.
Oh, I think Mia's having a great season.
Yeah, but there's, like, a weirdness when we're the 3 of us.
Oh, yeah. I really don't need the home life. Mia would make a great friend.
You think Mia's having a great season? I mean, she was having good moments earlier, but, like, think about what happened in Miami, dude.
Yeah, no, that was bad, of course.
I mean, but like, also then I was also just saying earlier, we need our villains.
Yeah. But I think, like, before that happened, I was high on Mia, and then I was down on Mia for a while. And now that we're, like, out of Miami and that everything's reconciled, I could, like, be high on her again.
The thing is, I think the 2 of us, like, we contradict ourselves week to week.
Sure. I mean, that's actually, it's good because, like, when I consistently hate you, that's when you know you're bad, you know? Like a Charisse.
I was high on Charisse earlier this season, and then she just flopped.
Oh my god. Charisse, not getting the invite to the La Dame and Friends.
Though she ends the, like, trailer later in the episode, so we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, but speaking of Charisse, I know we're not quite at La Dame and Friends, but I don't want to forget. She sends that video of Karen and Mia's boobs dancing in Miami to everyone in the group chat.
And to see who's in the group chat, including Katie Rost,
I actually
was
love that.
fun to see.
Like, still a part of the conversation. Love that we're not like excluding her.
I know, and I think the editors were like, "We need you to see Katie's name in this."
Yeah, important. Okay, but when Mia got together with Giselle and Robin, like, that was fun for me.
Yeah, the place they went to eat stressed me out so much.
When they were like ordering and sitting down and not knowing
Ordering
what to
sitting
do.
down, then you get like a jar of salad that you have to pour onto a plastic plate yourself, weirdly.
Yeah.
I was messaging with Kai from Real Housewives Orders about this, and I was like, "Can you explain to me this?"
Yeah.
He couldn't explain.
Sure. No, I mean, next time we go to DC, we need to hunt this place down and figure out what's going on.
I know.
Okay. Ashley and her busted up Sex in the City dinner.
What are they called? Like the little pretty girls or something?
The pretty young things, but then they were like changing it on the fly as to not offend Giselle. Because
Oh, yeah.
Giselle's not young, but like one of the pretty young things did not look like a spring chicken to me.
But also, like, Giselle is arguably of the prettiest in the bunch.
Yeah, she's like the prettiest thing in the bunch. I just don't like. I don't understand Ashley. She gets in her own way so much.
This reminded me, over the summer, I went to dinner with my cousin who's like in her early 20s and her two friends, and I was the Giselle in this situation.
Okay.
So I was hearing about like the drama of everything, and I was asking the questions.
Much like Giselle loves to ask the questions.
Exactly. That's why we love her. Yeah. Most people hate her for it, but that's why I love her.
Okay. So Deborah is like the head pretty young thing. Head of the table.
Deborah's story is so stupid. It is. Chris was hitting on me. I introduced myself to him, and he pointed out that his name
is also Chris.
Then I pointed out that my husband's name is Chris, and he said, "Yeah, Chris's are similar." And
he didn't even say that.
Then his elbow came close to me, and that was like the big, like a quote unquote aggressive thing that Chris did.
It's actually great, and like, I'm sure in the moment it was infuriating for Candace and Chris, but they have been redeemed.
They come out looking so fucking good.
Yeah.
This entire season.
I know.
It's like they are like top of the heap. What's that lyric from whoever sang that song? Frank Sinatra?
Oh, top of the but that's New York, baby.
I know, but we're singing Potomac.
Start spreading the news. And then Happy Eddie.
And his big sin is smiling at people.
He's smiling.
He's Valentina.
Oh my God. Okay, so then Ashley has to tell Wendy that this conversation took place. Ashley tells Wendy. Wendy tells the way Wendy told Eddie, and she reveals like, oh, and this is what you were doing. You were smiling, and the way that they were both like laughing, having the time of their lives.
That was one of the best Wendy Eddie home scenes ever. Yeah. It was just like so fun and just like so funny.
Yeah. Okay, but the pretty young things, I'm not done with them. I'm just not done with them.
It's like, and the thing is, Ashley has only known Deborah for a year and a half, so It's not like.
That's what I was going to say. A year and a half. This is a fan.
It's a fan. You should have more loyalty to Candace at this point, obviously.
A year and a half, that's a COVID friend. Like, anyone that you met, like, since COVID, like, you don't even know them pre-pandemic.
Though I have a couple friends I like a lot who I've met post-COVID. Is
I
that
know, but,
okay?
that's okay, but, like, are they a pretty young thing?
I would say they're prettier and younger than this group.
Okay, okay. I don't know. I'm just like, I've been thinking about the pretty young things all week. I can't stop.
And like, what do you think Ashley promised these people? Because Ashley was making some promises behind the scenes.
Well,
She was like, "Come on with me. We'll make a moment for TV." Like,
I'm sure like she is trying to help these women get onto the show.
also, she's trying to distract from what she's going on in her life.
Sure, that's another thing, yeah. And then having an app, and then like if you get someone on the show, they should be your ally.
Right. But if you think about it, the biggest storyline of this season should have been Michael, Darby, and Ashley.
Yeah. But
And
like the thing is, whenever it comes to like the biggest storyline, I've learned this lesson. After a while. Whatever you think is going to be the big storyline, there's only so much we could talk about anything, really. Like, you're getting divorced. Okay, like what are we supposed to like talk about it for 12 episodes, you know?
right, sure, but she's definitely deflecting.
Yeah.
And
Oh no.
she's bringing in her little young things or whatever they're
For
called.
sure. No, but I think this even applies to the Jen Shah stuff, especially like Jen and Erica in legal situations that they are unwilling to really go into it with. Like, it's not going to carry the whole season every episode. Like, you could dip in and out of it, but like no one storyline is like powerful enough to carry you through a whole season.
Sure.
You got to be like dipping and doing, interacting, responding, reacting. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Let's dip back into Giselle, Mia, and Robin, because we got a revelation there that was shocking. There's actually like, this is, despite this kind of being like an in-between trip episode, a lot's going on.
There's a ton going on.
We have the revelation that Mia and Gordon hooked up with Peter's girlfriend before she became his girlfriend. The night before her wedding, when Mia crashed the bachelor party that she was in attendance for.
The thing about Mia is we're always hearing all these stories.
There's a
about
lot of
her. There's a lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories going, which she brings so much to the table.
I mean, like her and Jacqueline, Leah Michelling, and Jonathan Groffing at some point
with flashlights,
with the flashlight, the desk lamp.
But and then Mia knows the true reason why Karen doesn't like Charisse.
And what's that?
We don't know that. But I mean, the Green-Eyed Bandits don't know, but Mia knows.
It's like too much secrecy right now.
Okay. Did you know that? Do you know that the Ladams are people? Move over, Beehive. Sorry, Beyonce.
This is what makes Karen Huger one of the best housewives of all time. Because it's like she has it all. She's got
the 3 wigs.
She's got the 3 wigs, but it's like what makes her top tier is like the confidence and the delusion that go hand in hand.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
She's believing what she's selling.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's so funny.
She thinks the DC Improv is the same as like MetLife Stadium where Beyonce can sell out.
Sure. Or even like she thinks it's like the Comedy Cellar or something, like an iconic like comedic venue, you know?
Though she's not interested in doing comedy at all. Or even being on stage during her own performance.
No. But what's funny about the Ladams is, you know, we are in the thick of Housewives and stan culture, and I've never seen the Ladams as like Like the Ladoms are like
The same name as you.
are cheering. Like I've just never seen that actually online.
Sure. Yes, yes, yes,
You know
yes,
what I
yes.
mean?
Yeah, but also like she named her like fan name is like her name because she is Ladom. And then she turned to Robin in the like one flashback scene is like, "Do you have any Robins?"
I'm glad we're all kind of getting along right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
Even
like
though
like
Candace won't acknowledge Giselle at the event.
but they like Giselle smiles at her, but like it's like I love seeing like Giselle cheer for Karen
Mm.
while still talking shit in the crowd and
Oh,
that
yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But it's like it's good. It's
Mm.
good.
Okay, so we're at this event in the basement.
It reminded me very much of City Winery in DC.
I know it did actually like have the vibe.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, we're bringing plus ones. Ashley's plus one is head pretty young thing Deborah herself, aka Sesame Street, aka Muppet.
Candace, like, if modern day poet, I know there's
Mm.
probably people out there doing poetry,
Yeah, there's
but
people
like,
out there doing poetry.
but nobody talks about it.
Nobody.
And
She
she's doing poetry in a way that like should be up there with like Cummings. Was that a
She
poet?
yeah, that's a poet. She's bringing poetry, like, to the spotlight. She's putting the spotlight on
Yeah.
poetry, I would say.
God.
You know what's funny? Like, Kathy Hilton kind of did this, where she, like, said something in a scene and then repeated it in a confessional, and I was
Mhm.
annoyed by it because she was just simply repeating it, whereas Candace, like, took an incredibly funny thing that she said in person and really, like, expanded on it.
She yes ands herself in a way. And like I feel like I would go pay to watch Candace do spoken word.
Just talk.
No, so you know spoken word, like beat poetry is beat
Okay,
poetry a thing?
that's a thing too.
But like
Yeah,
maybe like 90s spoken word. I'm
okay,
so
so
stupid.
so we'll take a time machine and go back to the 90s.
No, you can do it now.
Okay, okay, okay. In the style of the 90s,
N-
sure.
She should do slam poetry.
Okay, okay. Um, I mean, Robin did make up for her speaker infraction by alerting Candace that Sesame Street was at the end of the table.
Exactly. Well, Robin is like pushing stuff forward this year, whether we like it or not. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Candace handled it very well, the situation, I would say.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, like, she's disengaging while also getting her little like things in at the
Yeah.
same time. She's like Meredith Marksing
Mm.
if Meredith like was funny.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, shall we talk about the 5 acts of Ladam and
Yes,
Friends?
let's talk.
Interestingly enough, act 1, the comedian, where's Karen? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you would think Karen would welcome us to an evening with her and friends,
No,
but there's a different woman who we don't know who that woman is, introducing the comedian
it's wild.
to then get the Grand Dame for 52 seconds before giving the stage over to Jasmine Masters.
We can't afford her music.
But we can't afford her music. We can't afford a single syllable out of Jasmine Masters.
Which is like it's so unfortunate. And I wonder if Jasmine has said anything about this publicly because like Jasmine is one of the spokespeople of our time.
Exactly. I mean, she has given us some important poetry over the years.
Exactly. I would watch her and Candace go on tour together, doing
Yeah.
spoken word and slam poetry.
So, and last week I said, like, we've got to get more than we got from Nina Bonina in Atlanta that one time.
You really thought we were going to get more, and we didn't.
We didn't. We got silent dancing. And then even during Act 4 sizzle topics, we did not even get like her response to anything.
I love how they went through the thesaurus to find a syllable for hot and landed on sizzle because they didn't want to copy Wendy Williams too much.
Wendy and The View.
Well, Wendy always announced that she was copying The View.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think like all those um, programs should now use Sizzle Topics because
Yeah.
it's actually better.
Could you imagine Whoopi Goldberg saying, "Now we're doing Sizzle Topics"?
Yes. And then finally, the closer, just Jasmine Masters once again performing
Silently.
silently. Great episode, iconic episode.
I mean, like, it's like a technically a filler episode, but it had so much content in it.
Yeah, because we weren't like picking up a to be continued. We're not to be continuing anything.
Mhm.
It wasn't like something that was important from the trailer that we were waiting for.
And just, like, they found a new way to do the trailer for the next episode, which
Yeah,
was iconic, like, throwing back to the previous or what we had just watched, like,
yeah,
so good.
so good. Okay, Salt Lake City. In the first time in Housewives history, Brendan fell asleep during the episode.
And, like, I'm not even like, making this a bit, like and it was because it's first week back at work
Mm, yeah,
after Christmas, whatever.
after sabbatical.
I mean, I had been back to 3 days
I
after my
know.
sabbatical, and I didn't
Yeah.
fall asleep for other Housewives episodes, but, like, I truly was like, "What is going on?"
So like while I can acknowledge it's bad, part of me is like entertained by its badness, if you can understand that.
Yeah, sure. It's just, like, it's sleepy a little bit, but it's also, like, frustrating,
Yeah.
and then there's, like, these characters who I'm like, "You're so new, why do I care what that you're mad at Jen Shaw
Yeah.
because you've been around for 6 episodes."
But actually, like, if anything, like, they're kind of the audience, representative because we should all be mad at Jen Shaw.
I know, but it's like there's just, like, so many disconnects that
Yeah,
it really wore me out,
yeah.
and I fell asleep at, like, 8:35.
That must've been right around Angie H's return, which I'm worried about for you.
I know, and I think actually, like, Lisa Barlow tweeted
Oh,
something around the same time. I think she tweeted at 8:28, "Sorry, I just dozed off for a second,"
right.
and
That
I
that was
sent it.
for the Jen Shah moment. That was the Jen Shah therapy.
Oh, so then I sent y'all a text at 8:34 saying I'm falling asleep watching Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. The Jen Shah therapy thing is like, I'm actually shocked they even, like, included that.
I just don't think she has any remorse. I don't think she cares. I
Yeah,
think she's gonna go away for a long time, and she's, like, still not caring. She's on social media. She's not,
mm,
like,
yeah.
posting anything that suggests any like, that she regrets doing anything unless I missed something.
Yeah, I mean, as you're listening to this, it's probably happening,
Yeah.
you know? Uh, the sentencing. I also think I came to the conclusion that we got some new confessionals this episode that I'm
Mhm.
convinced were filmed post-plea.
Yes. Which ones?
There was a Whitney Blue look.
Mhm.
There was an Angie H look we had not seen before.
Mhm.
Uh, there there was either, like, a Lisa or a Meredith, I can't remember which one, that, like, was giving us something that we had not seen before.
Mhm.
I think it would only make sense if they filmed those later scenes for us to, like, get a few of the ladies back in.
Mhm.
I don't I'm actually, like, obviously, we're not done with this episode yet, but, like, I'm so interested to see how they put together next week's episode.
Yeah. It's oh my god. Who knows?
I I feel like this might be one to watch, folks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cuz
but
it's the season finale.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like where Meredith goes, yeah, do we think Meredith is going to be like turn against Jen in the confessionals next week?
Yeah, I would, but like even I feel like, but even in present day, she hasn't like 100% turned against her, right? There hasn't
Mhm.
been like a I now denounce my like friendship with Jen Shah or anything.
Which is funny because like last year she was happy to denounce it at every corner.
Yeah. Huh. Makes you think.
Really makes you think.
But okay, so like I think this week and next week we're kind of getting like the 1-2 punch with Dana because she
Mhm.
brings up the informant telling her to like be wary of Jen Shah.
Mhm.
And
I
like
mean like
the way that all played out in San Diego was so strange because when like okay, so like Jen storms off and then like frickin' frack Heather follows, and then, like, they're being weird up together in a bathroom, and, like,
mhm.
Meredith saunters off, and she's like, "Well, I've just think that's been enough for tonight." And then she goes into that the bathroom with those 2 idiots, and, like, they're
Mhm.
being really weird, and then she's like, "Maybe I shouldn't have come
Right.
in here."
Because it's like still fucking Heather being like, "Well, some people here know what happened to my eye, but not everyone." And
And
then like
stitches get
Meredith's like,
bitches.
yeah, and like Meredith's like, "What?" Like, I don't know. So like 2 people, like only 2 people must know. It's Heather's pissing me off so much.
Yeah.
So much. She's ruining the show in a big way for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I I would have given her some grace in terms of like the black eye stuff so far is all within the same day of us seeing it for the first time. So
Mhm.
she could have been like trying this out for size, but then confessional, and
Mhm.
then
At
I
Whitney's.
at Whitney's, and then I theorized, oh, Whitney made it seem like on Watch What Happens Live that this was not resolved. The black eye was not resolved at the reunion, and People's Dave Quinn responded to me saying that it was not resolved at the reunion. That's Bible.
Maybe Heather has to go next season.
But like, how do they reward Heather for all this with a Rugged casting? Is what I don't understand.
I have no idea. It's so
Like it should have been Lisa and Whitney.
yeah, probably.
I think that
But
would have been more interesting because just kind of like put Lisa anywhere, and I think that's going to be kind of
yeah, of
interesting.
course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like Heather's ruining it for me. Whitney, I liked the scene where I like sympathize with Whitney when she was trying to like figure it out. I was as perplexed
Mm.
as she was when like she was like genuinely trying to be like, "Hey, we're friends. Like, let's figure it out. I'm worried about you." And then Heather's like, "Well, no, because you said our friendship was on a break, or what's it? What was the exact
A
wording?
friendship break or something.
A friendship break. I can never come back from that because once something breaks, it means it's broken permanently." And I'm like, Heather, like you're falling into like this weird Jen Shaw school of housewives, and like, look around, girl. That's obviously not working. She's going away.
Are you implying that Heather's going next?
No.
That's funny. Uh, no, but there was one thing where like where Heather said at that final conversation, she's like, "Oh, like you don't even know what's going on in my life. Like you don't even know how I got this black eye." And Whitney's like, "I'm trying to ask you how you got
And
it."
like I tried to ask you in San Diego, like,
Yeah.
God, what? Oh my God. Stupid idiot.
Oh wow.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're just really. You're usually like not as fired up as I am about something.
Well, it's like you made me fall asleep in this episode, everyone,
Mm,
and then I wake up and I have to watch it, and then I get
mm,
frustrated by what I'm watching because I'm like, this is the most nonsensical Housewives. Like, I get to watch this really good episode of Potomac, and then
mm.
this really good episode of Miami, and then I have to watch this shithole in the middle,
Yeah.
and y'all could be better than this,
Isn't it interesting that that Wild Rose event didn't get its own episode?
right? It didn't deserve.
So was it because it was only Whitney and 3 friends? Was there only the 3 friends there?
I think
I
so.
think so. I wonder if that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. Uh, we had the charity event.
Yeah, I mean that I fell asleep before that. I didn't fall asleep during that, so I
Right, yeah,
actually enjoyed the charity event.
yeah. It
Though
was
during the charity event, I'm like, the people pushing the narrative forward are like now the friends of, which is like I've been rooting for these friends, but they're not doing it as well as like I wish they
okay.
could be.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny that conversation between Dana and Angie K and Meredith, where
Yeah.
Meredith's she's not mad 25 times.
Mhm.
And then I thought the Jen Shah giving the check to Angie K stuff was fun for us.
Didn't when we saw the little screenshot of the check, I was like, that check looks different than any check I've ever seen.
Are you seeing a lot of checks?
Well, used to write checks.
Okay. I mean, I see checks often. It didn't, like, strike me as weird.
It just was like everything was
Mm.
like so close together.
Everything's really close together. But, okay, what did you think of, like, Angie H's return?
Here's the thing.
Oh.
When she returned, she took off her Sarah Paulson mask and put on a Christina Applegate mask, maybe?
Oh, she's trying something on new for size.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think she'll be with us in the future, which is unfortunate, but we knew that.
Yeah, I don't I the for me, like, the friends are the redeemers right
No,
now.
I agree. It's like she was trying to like she was trying to confront Heather and be like
Yeah.
what's going on? Was it she was throwing out names?
She was actually doing a better, like, lawyerly interrogation than Meredith was doing.
Yeah, but it's like I don't think the people who cast Salt Lake City are going to cast her necessarily.
Mm, that's too bad.
Though I would like to see her because I would like to see which blonde actress's face she
Mhm.
puts on next year.
Okay, I wanna be anti-Meredith a little bit more. When she had the confessional moment about, like, "Oh, Lisa's here." Well, yeah, she wouldn't wanna ruin her, like, good reputation by not showing up to this, and it's like, "Well, Meredith, like, if she comes, you're gonna drag her. If she doesn't come, you're gonna
Yeah,
drag her." So,
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is she supposed to do?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If I were Meredith, I would have like turned around a little bit more, and I would have looked at Lisa's behavior at the event. And like Lisa walked up to the bartenders, was like, "I know these guys," and like she was like really comfortable with them. And I would have picked something out of that, being like,
Oh, is that bad?
no, I don't think it's bad, but I would have been like, "Oh, she's just here to like for her Vita Tequila to get like promo or something like that."
I mean, the charity event was promo.
Right. I know, but I'm just saying, I'm like, I would have picked another angle if I wanted to be mad at her.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm yes-anding you.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I'm excited for, like, that New York footage of, like first of all, I wasn't sure that we were gonna get New York Jen Shah in the hotel room during the pajama party footage.
Mhm.
Remember when they posted that on Instagram and I was losing my mind of, like,
Yeah.
the 3 sisters,
Mhm.
Meredith, Heather, and Jen Shah having a pajama
Yeah.
party?
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were gonna be in the room, and then and now we're using that footage that we all saw people taking, like, paparazzi photos of
Yeah.
Heather and Meredith filming outside.
At the Vessel?
I don't know if it was at the Vessel, it was just, like, at a little, table outside.
Okay, so I guess there were 2 paparazzi moments that were
Mm,
filmed maybe. It was the Vessel, which I don't think was included in the trailer, and then
yeah,
when it was Meredith, Seth, and
yeah,
Heather outside at lunch.
yeah.
We've been there with Roni, maybe
Oh,
more than once.
okay,
It's,
sure.
like, down near Battery Park.
Well, I mean, it is Shed Media, so it's like, let's go to the old stomping grounds.
Yeah, and it's also New York, so it's like you need, like
There's only so many places
there's
in New
only so
York.
many places. What are you gonna go to Pieces?
Okay, I think that's it for Salt Lake.
Okay, cool.
Miami.
the way that I was falling asleep in Salt Lake City, I'm the opposite in Miami. I'm awake as can be.
It was shocking to me how long we were at the music video shoot for.
I loved being there.
People are coming and going. I gotta go pick up my kids. I gotta go do this. I'm not filming.
It's
I'm
also
not in the video.
it's also like fucking pure comedy. Like even like people trying to get up the stairs, like just like the music video director yelling at people because like Mary Saul's trying to fill people's drinks while they're like doing choreography.
He is one of the best side characters we've had in a minute. He was like throwing a temper tantrum. When we arrive, and Adriana's nipples need to be blurred right away as she's talking to her director.
Also, like we've said this before, but I want to point out again that Adriana is a friend of. And we're getting main plot line this episode that's focused on her. And like also Mary Saul's friend of. This is why Miami's so good. It's like the lines are blurred.
Yeah. Unshockingly, nobody knows the dance move.
Exactly.
I have a question.
You should have said, "Can I ask you a question?"
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So like after we got the footage of Candace and Trina filming Insecure, we got the video that day. Where is the Faya music video now that this has filmed?
Well, Adriana has no idea what she's doing. Candace is a music professional, and she's actually really trying to be a music professional in this world.
Yes.
Adriana just like wants to fuck around, which is great because like she's like for some reason she landed the Miami theme song for all these years, just like fucking around.
But actually, I gotta give Adriana credit. Like this song is fun in the same vein as Feel the Rush.
Yeah, it's like Miami.
Yeah, it's hot.
This is like second string I Love Ya Poppy by J-Lo. Just it's like similar music video vibes.
Yeah, you were obsessed with that song and video.
Oh, can I tell you?
Wow, roll footage.
For months.
The way that Marisol is calling just a tray of shots Shotsky.
Also good brand integration. Like she knows what Daddy Andy wants.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, I was just gonna say like she's a delight to have on our screens.
Oh well,
I say that every week.
We know that is your feeling. The way Larsa came on the season and she said, "I'm gonna fuck with each and every one of you," and she's going one by one each episode. It was like first Lisa, then Julia, next week Nicole. Like line them up.
Yeah. And like with Adriana, she's like, I'm not going to appear in the music video, but I'll sit there.
No, I actually am here for other reasons to stir shit up with Julia.
Yeah.
No, I mean, who would have known Larsa? You got to give it to her.
Most improved.
Most improved like ever.
I mean, like, do you remember watching her on the first season of Selling Sunset? And we were like,
oh, get her out of here. Yeah.
And now we're like, I can't get enough.
Well, like she sucked season 1 of Miami. She wasn't that great season 4.
And like when she was around the Kardashians, it was like a hanger on her.
Yeah. She was always very sleepy. And like, I don't know, she's drinking coffee or something this year, but she's awake.
I've started drinking coffee again.
Oh, that's interesting because like people, I feel like our age, like try to give it up rather than take it up.
You know, I gave it up for like most of the pandemic.
Yeah,
but I'm not drinking it regularly. Only when I go into the office. I get an iced coffee, one iced coffee, one single iced coffee.
Maybe you should be drinking it like the day of Salt Lake City.
I did drink it the day of.
Maybe you need to time it a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe like I drink it right before the episode.
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember you used to like back in the day, like when we were filming at the old apartment, you'd roll in with an iced coffee.
Yeah, no, I can't do that anymore. I can have one like medium-sized iced coffee going in the office, and then that's almost too much, and
Oh,
then
wow,
I have to
interesting.
drink a lot of water to make up for it.
Interesting how the body changes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa comes and goes, and then after she leaves, they read the page 6 headline that Lenny is denying that they're breaking up. Nice try, though. That's my favorite part of the article. Nice try, though.
The way Lenny will be everywhere and anywhere all the time. Like, he was in the comments this week about something. He's like in comments, like talking to people constantly.
He's like Michelle Yeoh, like everywhere, everything all at once.
Don't you fucking dare compare him to Michelle
No,
Yeoh.
Lenny is our generation's Michelle Yeoh.
Shut the fuck up. It's so stupid. No, but I think he's willing to, like, I think he lives for the applause. He's willing to
Okay.
like do anything, and then like the fact that he's still willing to have even his voice appear on a phone next week, and
Yeah,
like
sure.
and all the footage from earlier this season, like he doesn't mind as long as like he's out there. I think
Sure.
that's like, is that Miami culture?
Well, maybe it's for him, it's like, okay, I want to be in the public eye so I could have parties and hook up with young women.
But also, like, isn't he supposed to be trying to be like a businessman who like cuts people up? Like,
Mm.
would you trust Lenny with a scalpel at this point?
Well, I feel like with that, it's like you just gotta look at my examples, you know?
Kim
My pre-
Zolciak's one of them.
my previous work. Beautiful work.
I once perused his website and I saw everything.
You saw everything. Okay.
Yeah.
We were asked by friend of the show, Evan Ross Katz, last week, Gertie, where does she fit into all of this?
So I think what happened this week with Gertie and Alexia,
Mm.
I think we're turning over a new leaf with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, they seem to find a common ground. They started out fighting, then crying together on the
Yeah.
yacht.
I think
And
they needed to cry together. Yeah.
yeah, and also Gertie seems to have a good relationship with the weirdos, with Julia and Adriana, even though like when Gertie was the first to arrive at Julia's party, she called her from the kitchen instead of like going up to have a conversation with her.
I love that they filmed a scene together via phone
In the
at
same
the same
home.
location.
That's why Miami is like changing the game.
They're coming up with new like ways to film a scene.
But also I think that's realistic. I was at Thanksgiving with my aunt and uncle, and
Oh,
my aunt would call my uncle and they were in the same house.
okay. Were cameras up on one of them or both of them?
Well, I was
Like
always
that.
filming. I was
Okay.
constantly filming.
Yeah. Okay. But I think back to Evan's question, I do think like when it comes to Gertie at home, she doesn't have a great scene partner in her husband.
Though I like him, I think, ish.
He's a little too sleepy. I mean, like I'm comparing him to Dr. Nicole's Anthony, who like is so excited to be there.
He's awake.
Yeah. Whereas like Russell, I'm not sure he's excited to be there.
Well, Russell, we have to remind people, Russell's a firefighter, so he's like out fighting fires 24 hours a day, then comes back, and so he can be sleepy.
Yeah, he can be a little sleepy, sure. I think it might be better.
If she divorces?
No. Love wins first and foremost. I think it might be better. I think Gertie is an interesting person. Let's dive in maybe a little bit more to like the work life of it.
Yeah, like we got a lot of photos of like the wedding she's done recently, which is great, but let's go on site.
Can't like I want to like be with a bride for a few weeks.
We need next year a potential friend of or just a guest who's going to be a bride who Gertie's taking care of.
Problem solved.
I mean, like that was the weigh-in of Jen Gilbert from Roni season 3. She was a party planner and she was Jill's party planner.
Yeah. Well, that didn't work out, so maybe we shouldn't be using that as an example.
But she was the original friend of.
Okay, she was the original friend of.
There's the Associated Press piece that I like to mention all the time.
I know.
About her.
I know. Okay. Lisa, I mean, this was like a 5-second scene, but when she's asking, when she's asking her daughter, "What color is the ice cream? Is it chocolate or is it vanilla?" And I'm like, "Oh, Jesus. What color is the ice
Oh, that's
cream?"
okay.
Okay. Farm to glam.
That's a I'm sorry, but Julia is flipping the script for Housewives. That is a new theme. We've never seen it. It's not fucking 1920s Great Gatsby.
No, this was actually very chic, and one of my favorite parts, which, obviously we should point out, very sad that Martina made that announcement that she's battling, stage 1 cancer, but it was funny, to me when, like, the whole thing comes up with Julia making out with a man, and then Julia's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go walk the goat, and then Martina's gonna take care of all of you." And then, like, I gotta say, like, Martina and Julia did kind of, like, flip the script on all of them.
Yeah. Martina was like, "My friend Gwyneth," which Kelly Ben Simone tried in season 3.
Gwyneth got popping up on all these cities.
Um, the thing that struck me the most about them coming into this party is, like, they all do feel like real friends. And even just, like,
Mm.
watching everyone greet Martina even, it's
Mm-mm.
like everyone's comfortable with each other in a way that feels different than other cities.
The way that, like, Martina said, "Oh, hi, Lisa," when Lisa came in,
Mhm.
felt like felt like a real relationship.
Yeah, and, like, Lisa handed her the bottle of wine, "This is for you," and Martina, like, looked at it like
Yeah.
somebody so, like, to examine it, like, "Is this a good bottle of wine?"
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It all felt genuine.
Mm. Yeah. I know that, like, we're living in La La Land in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. My eyes were on Marisol during that entire scene, though, because she was so concerned about the goat's diaper being off.
Mm. For someone, like, so into drinking, it was interesting watching her refuse the champagne as they walked in.
Yeah, but that's I think, like, she's so specific in what she likes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Actually, like, I gotta say though, I'm with her, like, I don't really need a bubbly.
Yeah, same. I will say, what surprised me with Gertie walking in is
Hmm.
she was like, "Oh, this isn't filled to the top," and I'm like,
Mm.
I felt like when you walk into a party, they usually only do it halfway.
I would say somewhere between half and 3/4. To me, to the top is like overdoing it.
Right. I think it's like half because they want to give you a taste, and you're going right
Mm.
inside so you can like get your own
Oh,
drink.
sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure. Oh yeah, this is just to like quench the
Welcome
palate
you.
for the
Yeah.
walk into the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although she just had to sit there at the kitchen table.
And call Julia.
Like,
These women are really innovating. I just like can't get over how great they are. And we haven't even like really touched on Dr. Nicole this episode, but
mm,
like Dr. Nicole was very present this entire episode, which she has
mm,
been kind of on the outskirts a lot of the
yeah,
season. I
yeah.
just love that she was really in it for the yacht, and then she was really in it for the Julia party, and
Oh yeah.
she stayed to the end with Adriana and like helped Julia like get was the point that Julia never swims with Martina, so they were making her swim with Martina?
I think it was like kind of that, or kind of just like creating a romantic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a smart move on the doctor's part. She's like, "Oh, well, like I called out when I had to do the 24-hour shift
Mhm.
in Key West. I might as well like stick around a little while."
And like experiment with the different parts of the group. Like
Mm.
I'm usually with this other part of the group, but I'm going to be with the weirdos for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I wish Gertie would have stayed with the
Oh
weirdos.
my god, Gertie, come on. Wow. I loved it as usual. Can't wait for Dr. Nicole's turn next week on the Larsa hit list. Um, but let's wrap it up with our freak of the week and the one true queen.
Mm.
Brennan, who's our freak of the week?
So unfortunately, it feels like love actually isn't love and love might be over.
Yeah.
According to some of our sources, Ashley and Luke are over.
Mm.
And I think Ashley unfollowed Luke and maybe not vice versa
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed last week her deleting or archiving that photo, but I feel like the unfollow is like the kiss of death, especially in the world of housewives.
And it's like, not to be nosy, But as somebody who's watching them from afar and who they're displaying the relationship, I wish they could have made it at least to Winter House so we could have seen some of it play out.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll hear about it if Luke goes to Winter House.
Okay. Yeah, he could like talk about the experience of dating a housewife.
Or it could be fun if they cast Ashley too and they surprise bitch him like,
Oh
hi, I'm
my
in the house.
God. So like Ashley's not making it to Rugged. She instead has to be with the kids in Winter House.
Well, I mean, she's their age.
I know
Makes sense.
it would be glorious.
Yeah.
Okay. I should definitely let you take the queen this week.
Oh, so I'm doing both. Okay. So the queen, I mean, Barbara Walters
Barbara
obviously
Walters.
passed away in the past week. And everyone knows that like me and Dan are big fans of The View, but also just like Barbara's legacy, while it is not perfect, she was a titan in the media. She was a trailblazer. Like
I loved watching even Preview. Like I got into The View because I would love being home as a kid on a Friday night
and
watching 2020. Yeah. I was like, don't invite me to the parties, kids. I'm watching 2020 today.
I was talking about that with somebody because I was in a group chat with somebody who was a little younger than me and somebody else in the group chat. And the person didn't quite get the impact that Barbara had on like us. And I was like, oh yeah, like we were at home on Fridays, like after Nick at Night, we would switch over to like not Nick at Night, like TGIF, we would switch over to 2020.
Yeah.
And it would be Barbara Walters and Hugh Downs and like telling us the news. And then she'd have all her specials. And like she interviewed fucking everyone, every pop culture person, every fucking politician. And then she went on to create The View, my favorite television show.
Yeah.
My favorite interview that she ever did was still Lady Gaga in 2009, and Gaga dressed like her in a Chanel suit.
Iconic, yeah.
And Barbara asked Gaga about the origination of the lyrics "Bluffin' with My Muffin."
She always had a good question. What did you think of the View tribute episode on Tuesday?
I thought it was really well done.
Especially given
the timing. Yeah. So I wish there would have been, I mean, there were a lot of people in the studio, but I wish like Meredith could have been in the studio. I wish Star could have been in the studio. I wish Elizabeth could have been in the studio. And then Rosie was asked to be in the studio, but she declines. And she had said on her TikTok, she was like, I think it would have been too emotional for me to be around that many people.
Oh, wow.
Also, they had like an imperfect relationship, but like so did like Barbara and Elizabeth and like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I just think like the dynamics of like that show, and especially if you read Ladies Who Punch, amazing book.
Yeah.
You get behind the scenes of those relationships, but they've all always respected her as a person.
Sure.
Because of like how important she was.
Wow. Our one true queen, Barbara Walters.
Yes.
And with that, that's it this week, baby. As usual, head on over to comethroughqueen.com. Links to socials, Patreon. We have a Patreon pre-show this week. And just like, comment, subscribe, heart share, retweet.
Love us, please retweet.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I wanna see ya come through, queen.